So we're going to talk about area today, and we're going to talk about area when you have composite shapes. We have spent a lot of time talking about area of rectangles, but as you can see, this is not a rectangle. However, we can easily break this shape up into two rectangles and then find the area that way. One thing that we've also been really working on is using resources. For example, oh, that one is dirty. For example, we'll just go with this one. For example, we are talking about using our grid paper or graph paper. So I'm going to use this as an example. So instead of trying to draw out little lines and make grids on here, which some kids try and do, it's much easier to use what you already have, which is you have graph paper. So let's draw this figure on the graph paper. We're going to start with what we know. We know we can go 7 down. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to go over 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over 3. 1, 2, 3. And then some of the kids are like, well, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here, but they've learned that now all you have to do is connect this and this. All right, so now that we've drawn our shape, we need to make some rectangles. So we have two choices. We could draw a line up and down and make one rectangle here and one rectangle here, or we could draw a line across side to side and make one rectangle, which is a square, a special kind of rectangle here, and then another rectangle down here. I'm going to choose just to draw the line this way, but there's no one right way to do it. You can do it either way. So now, one thing you could do if the question just asked you, straight up, what is the area, all you have to do is count the squares. So in that case, you wouldn't even have to draw to show two rectangles. Sometimes though, you have a question that asks you, which equation would solve for the area. And in that case, we've been talking about with rectangles, the area you find by doing length times width. And in a composite shape of two rectangles, you take the length times width of this rectangle and add it to the length times width of the other rectangle. For example, let's find the length and the width of this. So the length, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we know this is going to be 7. And the width is 1, 2, 3. So the area of this is 7 times 3. And of course, either by counting the squares or by knowing our multiplication facts, we know that that area is 21. Now we're going to find the area of this rectangle. Let's find the length first. 1, 2, 3, 4 times the width. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have the area of this one, which again we can find by counting the squares or by doing 4 times 5, which is 20. Then we add the two together, 21 plus 20, well that would give us 41. And sometimes that's what they're asking for. But sometimes they're simply asking for what is the equation to find it. So 7 times 3 plus 4 times 5. And we put those in parentheses. And that's going to equal the area of this composite shape, which is 41. But sometimes they don't want to know the actual number of the area. They want to know how do you solve for it. If we had broken it apart the other way, there is another equation. There's another equation that can help us solve it. This case is 3 times 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 4. So again, we could do 3 times 3 plus 8 times 4. And both of those are actually going to equal the same thing, which is 41. So that's pretty cool. And that's how we've been practicing area of composite shapes.